Hi everyone, welcome back to another video on how to combine AI chatbots with RStudio to do statistical analysis. So in the last video, I showed you how to create a simple histogram. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a grouped histogram. So for that, I'll be using this prompt that I'm showing you on the screen. Just as before, I'm just going to right click on this, click copy. And this time I want to use Gemini. So last time I used ChatGPT. This time I just want to use Gemini and see how Gemini performs. But the steps are just going to be exactly the same. Again, you can use any AI chatbot for this. So you begin by filling in these blank spaces. The first thing is you mention the name of the data frame. So if you remember, the data frame for us is FWB data. So I'm just going to put that there. Then the name of the variable of interest for us is FWB score. That's financial well-being score. That's the variable that we are working with. So I'm just going to write that here as well. So we have financial well-being score. Then again, we want to say that only keep cases where the variable is non-negative, because in this variable the non-negatives mean missing responses, and we just want to get rid of those missing responses. In this example, as the grouping variable, I'm just going to use race and ethnicity. Of course, you could use anything. You could use education, you could use age group, income, whichever variable you prefer. But in this case, I'm just going to use this PPETHM. Again, this is the code book of the survey that I'm using for this course, and the link to this code book will be provided in the description. Again, this is all publicly available. So I'm just going to copy this and put that into this blank space, and then this variable means race and ethnicity. Race and ethnicity. The next part is extremely important. You have to let this AI tool know how this PPETHM variable has been coded. So if you look at this variable, it has been coded as 1, 2, 3, and 4, where 1 means white, non-Hispanic. So I'm just going to put that here. 1 equals white, non-Hispanic. 2 equals black, non-Hispanic. Then we have 3 equals other non-Hispanic. And lastly we have 4 equals Hispanic. So that's that. Next, we need to mention that we want to create a histogram of this FWB score variable. That is our variable of interest. Then we want proportions, just like we did in the last case. So I'll just get rid of this part and put proportions here, and then display it separately for each group using facets. So that's what I prefer, but you can also pick colors and see how the graph looks like. So I have filled in all the blank spaces. I'm just going to click submit, and I'm going to wait for Gemini to produce the R code. So it appears that it has already produced the R code. I'm just going to copy this, and then into this RStudio environment, I'm just going to right click and click paste. Then I can click this whole code, and then I can just select all this and click run. So let's see. It did produce the grouped histogram, and this is how it looks like. So now you can of course make changes to this, but I hope at least that you can see how easy it is to produce all these beautiful graphs in R just by chatting with a chatbot, if you know how to communicate with it. Now, of course, you can change a few things. So for example, here in the x-axis level, I don't want to show FWB score. I would rather just keep financial well-being score. Now I can do that manually just by going through this code rather than going back to Gemini. But of course, you can also go back to Gemini and ask it that you don't want to mention FWB score in the x-axis. But you can also do this manually. So for example, this part of the code, that's all you need to change. So if I make this bigger, it might be easier for you to see. So here, I just don't want this FWB score mentioned here. I just want to mention financial well-being score. And yeah, I think rest of it I would just keep as it is. And then I believe I can just select maybe from here until the very end. Let's do that. And it should produce the new graph. And as you can see, the change has been made. Now in the x-axis, it says financial well-being score. One more thing I want to show you is how to take these graphs that we are producing to our local drive. So how can we download them? So the graph that I just produced, this is called FW score histogram by res.png. So this must be this one. So here I can click right here in this box and I can see the tick mark. Then I need to click here and then I can just click export. And then I can click download and this will be downloaded. And then I can of course use this in my MS Word or whatever other word processing software I'm using to write my report. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll learn how to create box plots using these prompts and using AI chatbots and then RStudio.